Hello, I have started a Patreon. This is to assist in raising funds for a project that I'm starting next year called the Generic Diesel Pack. This is going to be a pack of models of British Rail diesels, including the Class 55, the Class 37, the Class 31, the Class 47, Class 45 Peak, the Class 25, the Class 60 and the Class 58. If you would like to help towards the cost of these models, then please consider joining the Patreon. I will also be doing crowdfunding efforts in the next year. Thank you very much.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. To see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true. Your own imagination waiting there for you.
Coal. Almost every engine on the Fat Controller's railway runs on coal. The island has its fair share of diesel locomotives too, but they're few and far between. Sodor has its own coal mine high in the hills, but it was old and its owners had its engines scrapped many years ago, leaving work to be done by anyone who was free. It meant the railway had to order coal from the mainland to keep the trains running to time. Thomas was at Farquhar when Toby pulled in looking sad. What's wrong, Toby? They only dropped 2 trucks of coal off. 2? But we normally get 4 or 5. It barely fills the coal bunker by the shed. It won't last very long between the 3 of us, let alone Molly's tender. I wonder why there's only 2 trucks then. I don't know, but James said they haven't had much on the main line either. That really isn't good. Thomas was worried. No coal would mean his branch line would ground to a halt. He passed Molly later on, who was looking sad. Hello, Molly. What's wrong?
Oh, Thomas, I'm to be withdrawn from service. The Fat Controller said I'm using too much coal at the moment. With the shortage, he can't have me running.
That's terrible news. I'm really sorry to hear that.
It is what it is, I'm afraid, Thomas. I understand why, and it's not like we're being sent for scrap.
I know. I will see if I can get more coal for us. Thomas raced to Elsbridge on his return run. He knew a goods train was due through soon. He pulled into the station and ran round. Percy, has the coal train come through yet? No, Thomas, it's delayed. How come? I don't know. Just then the sound of Bear pulling the coal train filled the air. He pulled into the yard. Please say you have some coal for us. Just the 1 truck, I'm afraid, Thomas. It was meant to come with the train this morning but got missed. That's still not enough. I'm sorry, Thomas. There's not a lot I can do. I have to make sure it all goes to the main line or Brandon. Oh, so ours is the first line to lose coal? No. Little Western, Kurt Ronan and the Mountain Line have also had reduced coal deliveries. The Arsdale line is trying out some fake coal and Scar Railway is down to just 1 passenger train. Why aren't we getting coal from the mines? This is all they could get from the mines. The shipment this morning was from the mainland and they're shutting down the last of their mines. So, there's no coal? Not at the moment. This is terrible. Maybe you diesels will replace us after all. Don't say that, Thomas. I wouldn't want to replace you. Gordon steamed in with the express, looking sad as well. Thomas, I heard Molly has been withdrawn from service. Yes, because we haven't enough coal. It's all going to you or Brandon. Alice and Eric have been withdrawn too. Henry is to use up the most of his coal and get back to shed, and Murdoch hasn't even left the sheds this morning. Oh no. It's looking very dire indeed. Thomas looked down at his buffers as Gordon left. There didn't seem to be anything they could do. Molly was up in her shed when Mavis came in with some stone.
Molly, what are you doing in the shed? Not enough coal. I've been pulled out of service. Oh no, who is pulling your coaches then? They are being added onto Thomas's train. I hope more coal comes soon.
That night at the sheds, Thomas was talking with Toby. I've never felt this helpless. I have, when my old line was shut down. I hope we don't go that way, Toby. I really do. The next day, Thomas was travelling down his line. I do hope we don't get pulled from service, he worried to himself. He arrived at Toryrek and the Fat Controller was waiting for him. Thomas, from tomorrow, you and Percy are going to have to stay in the sheds, I'm afraid. But, sir... I'm sorry, Thomas, but it's final. The closest mine on the mainland has closed as they don't need coal over there anymore. It'll be some time until we can find enough to fulfill our needs. Until further notice, Mavis will be open with the goods work and Daisy will be taking your passengers as well as her own. Toby will still be working up in the quarry with Mavis. I see, sir. I understand. Thomas wanted to argue, but he knew the decision was out of the Fat Controller's hands. The next day, Thomas watched as Daisy left Tidmouth.
Do you think I have to manage this line alone now? How humiliating.
Over at the Brendam line, Porter and Harvey were also left in the sheds. I'm sorry, you two. I wish I could help. It's okay, Edward. We understand. However, when Edward got to Wellsworth, the Fat Controller was waiting. The next day, Edward was in the shed too. I hope I can manage both the goods and passenger work. Don't worry. It's only temporary. I hope. On the main line, Bear had taken over some of the expresses. I hope I do as good as you, Gordon. Just do your best, my friend. We are all relying on you. James was being smug as he pulled the express, watching the diesels on freight trains and shunting. Such a splendid engine deserves to be on the express train. What was that about a splendid engines on expresses? Shut up, James grumbled as he sat in the shed. The other diesels weren't happy. They didn't like seeing their friends stuck in the shed, and their engines were starting to hurt. How can I stand these passengers? They had the nerve to say I'm smelly and loud. One told me I was a danger to the railway. They're just upset. They came to travel behind steam. Pay no attention to them. Bear soothed, but it didn't help. The Fat Controller even rented some diesels from the mainland. Hello, you two. Are you here to help?
Yes, I am Hannah and this is my sister Linda. We are here to help with the freight traffic.
Ah, brilliant. There's every goods train over there for you to take. A few days later, Iris was shunting in Knapford when Drolan steamed up. We need trucks and quickly.
What's the rush?
The coal ship is here.
Finally, I've got some stored here.
The Z-Stacks helped dock the coal ship and Iris and the workmen cheered as the first scoopful was dropped into the trucks.
I never thought I'd be so glad to see this dirty stuff again.
She laughed. At once, Bear backed down on the coal train and headed straight for the sheds. The steam engines cheered at his arrival.
Thank you, we really do appreciate this.
Yeah, our wheels are going stiff.
Well, you probably won't be steamed up today. It's too late now.
The cheers soon turned to groans as the engines realised he was right.
Plus, there isn't much coal at the moment. We're expecting another shipment, but this won't last long.
The Fat Controller watched the coal bunker getting loaded with coal and listened to the engines moan. He stepped out and addressed the engines.
The coal mine up at Great Waterton has found a new seam of coal, enough to make up the lack of coal from the mainland. The issue is they haven't an engine to shunt or deliver it. I'm sending a diesel up there, but it's only temporary.
So we need another engine.
Yes, I'm reaching out to scrapyards and other railways, but it appears no one has anything in any condition to send us. I know an engine, sir.
The other engines looked in surprise, as did the Fat Controller, but he listened all the same.
Reach for the wind, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the song, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far we'll go. To a shining time station where dreams can come true. Your own imagination's waiting there for you. To a shining time station where dreams can come true. Your own imagination's waiting there for you, waiting for you.